Hey everybody, it's Jack once again. This month I'm talking with Sonia Perugini in our Get to Know episode. Sonia unfortunately was not in a place where we could have a live video cast, and so we spoke on the phone and I turned it into a little bit of a presentation and conversation with Sonia. So listen in, this is Get to Know CBSI, Sonia Perugini. Hi everyone, I have with me Sonia Perugini. Hi Sonia.
Hello, Jack.
So formal between the two of us. It'll get more casual, trust me. So before we get started, I did a brief introduction before this, but I want from your own words so people know what you've been doing at CBSI, a little bit about your background. So I'll let you freeform it and tell people what you do, if you could.
Sure. I head up the account services department here at CBSI. I've been here for 18 years and all total have been spent my career in account services, generally in direct marketing, anywhere from direct mail, inbound, outbound, all different types of channels for the past 25 plus years.
We've known each other for almost 20 years. Is that true?
It is true. And we are
Holy
both still
crap.
surviving to talk about it.
Oh my God. I didn't even realize it's been that long. Holy crap. Okay. Well, I'm going to have to put a censor notification on this one because I think I may F-bomb. I can't believe it's been 18. Holy junk. All right. Let's dive into it. I think you are amazing. I think you know so much more about customer service than I could ever imagine knowing. So the topic of this month, as you know, is all on the customer service side of things. So, and there's two elements to that sometimes, right? It's what you do in servicing our own clients, and then it's your knowledge of how our clients' customers need to be treated, the cardholders themselves. So there's so many things we could talk about. I know we try to narrow it down to 3 questions. So I'm going to ask you 3 quick questions, and I'll let you ramble on and share with us your experience. So if you're cool with that, let me get started. Does that work?
Sounds good.
Okay. So in talking about customer experience, what are some key elements that you believe is necessary to deliver a good customer experience?
Okay, well, there's a lot of ground to cover, but I think I'll start with the top ones that really I think resonate from large to small. The first being that delivering an impactful customer experience requires a top-down approach. It starts at the executive level and must permeate throughout the organization. There needs to be an understanding that all teams, not just customer service, play a role in service delivery. Okay. Secondly, personalizing communication to cardholders. Whether it's on the phone or in writing or in person, must be personable by delivering relevant and relatable information, including the tone of your language. How you say something telegraphs a wealth of content. And we've probably all seen that with even a common call center exchange, that one rep can say the same thing as another rep, but the way they say it and the empathy they show tells you whether or not how engaged they are in meeting your needs.
Yeah.
And lastly, and it's becoming more and more a hot topic, is just being honest about data collection and usage. So what is a company doing with the information that they're collecting on you, from a simple transaction at the grocery store to information that they may collect over a phone call that you make into their customer service? Everyone's collecting data. And consumers want to know how their information is being used. And
if I could jump in real quick, that's a big part of the blog that you wrote for us this month, right? Is literally about that piece of it.
It is. There's a bit of a tightrope that companies need to walk these days in delivering the customer experience and the digital experience that a customer expects these days.
Yeah.
With the privacy that they also expect, or at least understanding how their data is being used with their knowledge, with their consent.
That's
So
awesome.
the other piece, just around data collection is that as companies make decisions with the data that they're collecting, which is happening more and more, especially with AI being integrated into a lot more of the systems that companies use, is that really is going to be a key area of concern. So customers want to know, if a robot's making this decision, how do I know that it's unbiased and that I'm being treated fairly as any other customer who's asking for the same thing?
Yeah, well, then let's segue into that. I mean, you know how much I enjoy the technology piece, and that I know you're aware that I'm working on some AI stuff specifically for our company. How do you see, or what impact do you see of technology like AI on the service delivery then?
I think we're just starting to hit the tip of the iceberg, but I recently read that by 2020, 25% of customer service and support operations will utilize voice recognition technologies such as chatbots and virtual customer assistants, which is a huge jump from just 2017, where only 2% of those operations were being supported by those technologies.
Wow.
So just shows you the sheer acceleration that those technologies are taking, but it's also become more of an expectation from cardholders that they've got multiple medias to communicate with. And we're also seeing that companies are applying cognitive AI platforms on
Yeah.
existing mobile applications and machine learning capabilities that predict what a customer will want next. So it's
Yeah.
not just servicing what they're explicitly asking for at the time of the transaction, but predicting what they'll want on their next interaction.
Yeah, for sure.
So basically, I mean, customers, as we all know, as consumers ourselves, we want choice, we want control. Self-servicing options are key, but we also need to keep in mind that even though companies are companies, they're essentially representing themselves from a human perspective, and they need to be show that humanity in servicing customers. They, even if they're using all this technology, no one wants to feel like they're being spoken to by a robot. That they need to be
Yeah,
very
right.
authentic in their efforts and execute with humanity.
Well, then, along those lines, great segue again. What do you think that companies get wrong with customer experience?
Well, really, I mean, I hate to say it, but there are a lot of companies that just still haven't truly mapped out their customer journey. They
Okay.
don't take a lot of the survey feedback seriously, and they've never truly walked in their customers' shoes. So separating themselves from the day-to-day operations and putting themselves on the other side is critical to understanding what that experience feels like for customers and why they would or would not want to continue coming to that store or using that organization for services or products. The opportunity for customer experience today is really to blend technology with the human touch and create a positive memory for customers. And really at the baseline of this, and this kind of ties back to one of my earlier points, is that it's critical to this and delivering a better customer service is ensuring that your employees feel valued. If employee engagement is high, they will contribute to making your customers feeling valued.
Sure.
Um, and the interesting thing I find with customer experience these days is that when it comes to servicing, you no longer compete against just your direct competitor. You compete against anyone who has provided your customer a great experience. It's not just your cable company comparing Comcast to DirecTV. If
Yep.
somebody has a good experience with the cable company, they're comparing it to the restaurant they ate at last night and whether that experience was good or bad and how those two compare. So it's not just a direct competitor. It could be somebody completely unrelated that maybe delivered a slick experience through an app or just a better human touch over the phone or gave a face-to-face interaction that made you feel great about doing customer business with that company.
That's such an amazing point because, I sit more on the technology side of marketing than I would say anything. And I always am amazed that, because I run into it too on my side, that there's an element of something we're used to, as simple as pinching your fingers or expanding your fingers to open or shrink an image, right? Something
Yeah.
that we now consider ubiquitous. And I think that's what your point is. You don't care whether it's a cable company, fitness club, restaurant. If you're used to swiping to do something, you should be able to continue to do that in any environment. Like, why wouldn't you take advantage of a baseline technology, or what you're talking about is a baseline way to treat a customer, right? That it shouldn't just be, well, insurance companies treat you this way, so we're just going to have to deal with that. Or cable companies treat you that way. Forget that. I think that's your point, is that's out the door now.
Yeah, because somebody else is
Yeah.
going to is able to provide that experience to a customer if you
Yep.
aren't. So it's keeping up with the Joneses, regardless of what industry you're in.
Yeah, that's awesome stuff. Hey, look, I didn't want to take all your time today, and I also want to keep it short and brief for anyone that may be listening. So I want to say thanks. Is there anything else that you want to add, comments you want to share, or are we going to lock this up and call it a day?
I think we're good for now, and
Okay.
I'm happy to talk to you in the future anytime you want to chat.
Okay, and I'll have posted for everyone after this call. If you want to follow Sonia, her Twitter account will be up there. I think it's at Sonia Perugini, right? That's your Twitter account?
That's right.
Okay, so we'll have that for you. Any other contact information we can gather for Sonia? Be sure to read our e-newsletter, right? You've got a great blog that talks about data and customer experience and all those other types of things. And so with that said, Sonia, thanks always. Truly a pleasure. I'm sorry that you've had to deal with me for 18 years.
I think that the distance has saved our relationship. So maybe that's key.
That's true. Me being in Chicago and you out east. There you go. That's awesome. No, so thanks so much. I really appreciate it. And I'm sure we'll catch up soon. So thank you.
Good to talk to you. Thank you.
You too. Bye.